All right, I'm picking right up with the reading of Green. We're on chapter 2. This would be, I'm going to make a second playlist actually. So this would be the second video of the Green playlist series. So because Green is going to be the memoir, my account, and then the other playlist is actually the case file, the Russell Peterson and the Sedona PD's account of what happened. This is what I remember personally as a child and what I experienced from my point of view. So, that being said, Chapter 2, 1993, Sedona, Arizona. The first memories of my new life were birthed into existence with a flashlight. Almost 3 decades later, and I can still close my eyes and see the moment frozen in time. Embedded in my brain, engraved in my soul, it was at that moment when I stirred from my childhood slumber to an unexpected new world by a flashlight. I couldn't tell you what made me open my eyes. Was it the officer's calls or the officer's bumbling for the light switch, which in turn roused me from my wake the dead kid coma? Reliving these memories brings with them a flurry of emotions, completely catching me off guard as I didn't expect jealousy of my own sleeping habits to play into this narrative. Goodness, you take such things for granted when you are a child. Sweets, milk, sleep. These days my sleep comes in bits and pieces, several hours at a time. A full night's sleep for me is a child's dream. Until that night I slept like a baby. Well, I was a baby. Ever since that night, now my sleep is dark, broken, and a sad place to which my mind visits to relive these memories that I'm laying before you. So I guess you would classify the memories as nightmares, and they haunt my dreams. And my days of deep childlike sleep were gone that night with so many other things which were prematurely yanked away. So it is with all honesty, I can't really tell you what it was that woke me. What in turn... Angie? My oldest is the loudest. She's 13. What in turn made me open my eyes in that moment to the bright white-yellow beam of light shining my way. My room was dark, but the hallway light behind it was bright beam. Angie, I'll flash you back. Not now. Hey, seriously, at this very moment, not right now, please. Can you go outside and play? Angie. Flashlights have been a trigger for me for... My room was dark, but the hallway light behind it, the bright beam was indeed on, giving off the most eerie and terrifying experience to a 10-year-old girl. I'll never forget this. Having been awoken by a sound and then confronted with a black silhouette standing in my doorway of my bedroom, illuminated by the hallway light, but hidden behind the beam of the flashlight. I had no idea who was standing in the doorway of my bedroom, and in a split second of panic, I froze, quickly followed by screams of terror, until the silhouette in question finally located the light switch, to spark instant lights and alleviate my terror, only to turn to childish confusion. As when I saw that it wasn't the boogeyman, but maybe worse. A police officer stood in the doorway of my bedroom with a flashlight in his hand, asking me to get up, get dressed, and not telling me anything else. Page 7, end of chapter 2. I'm keeping the chapters short. Chapter 3, Sedona, Arizona, 1993. It was probably around 2 a.m. early on that Friday morning when the Sedona police officer, David Zanet, woke me and told me to get dressed. In haste, groggy, but instantly on high alert, something was wrong. Very, very wrong. Even as a kid, I knew this. This had never happened ever. Like, this was straight out of one of my Christopher Pike or R.L. Stine books, like the dozens that sat on my shelves, which I found myself strangely staring at while grabbing some things as instructed, not knowing what the hell I was supposed to grab. In July of 1993 was the year of my 11th birthday. In addition to my mother's murder, the early morning hours of July 9th marked 17 days exactly until I was going to be 11. I remember the excitement for this birthday in particular, not because it marked the year of my mother's death, not at all. This was a big year for me birthday-wise, because I was going to get my very own TV for my big girl room. In 1993, I had just finished 5th grade. So like, only my cool friends had their very own TV in their room. This was going to be epic. A TV now to add to the boombox, a huge collection of all my favorite childhood fiction writers, my Possum 101 Dalmatian comforter set. Told you I had a cool mom. my room was like my mom gave me everything that she didn't have as a kid. So I was like her Barbie. I always had the coolest clothes. She always made sure that my Easter basket. She lived for her kids. And she decked out my room because it was the first time I had my own room. You know, I had a little sister and we'd always lived in an apartment before we moved to this house. So I always had to share my room. And this was the first time. And because it was a garage and it was converted, like she made sure that it was awesome for me. So continuing on, that was just a little bit of context that I didn't put in here. But I figured that I'd throw that out there. My 101 Dalmatian set, I kept that for like 10 years until it was like faded and ripped. It was a twin. My Possum 101 Dalmatian comforter set, told you I had a cool mom. An escape route, yes! Exclamation point. My room was a converted room, originally a garage. My very own room came with several amenities that any mother would be thrilled over, said with mucho sarcasm. But hey, a kid could be like, yes, bring it on. Being as it was an old garage at one time, my room had an access door to the outside world. I was expressly, this is in all caps, expressly never allowed to use, which of course I managed to get locked and unlocked and totally use while mom was working. In addition to my escape route, this came with a huge walk-in closet, which was legit just a toy room in itself. It's huge. As mom hated clutter, and if my toys weren't put up, they'd get tossed. She was a crazy clean freak. Anybody that knew her would tell you the same. As for me, as a kid, to have a huge closet like that with a closing door, I could just sweep all my junk in there for clean room inspection time. Oh man, uber coolness. I always got away with it. She hated that closet. It had roaches in it. They freaked me out too. But when I saw the power that they wielded over my mother, I was like, little dudes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Let's be friends. So I didn't mind them keeping Ma out of my junk closet, but when the little dudes decided to creep up into my bed, my warm affinity for my little friends quickly made my awesome kitty bat cave a little unbearable. That's why to this day I hate roaches. They were cool until they started crawling my bed just to get my mom out of my closet. But best of all though, my room had the access hatch to the attic. Oh, you bet I was told to never pull that down and go up there. Because it was one of those, you know, the string, pull the door down, get the ladder down, climb up. I was 10. Well, when we moved there, I lived there between 8, 9, and like 10. So I was like, mischief time, of course. Especially when you're told not to. Jesus. She should have told me to go up there, and I probably wouldn't have. My room was the access hatch to the attic. Oh, you bet I was told to never pull that down and go up there. So, of course I did. This is in all caps. Oh, period, my, period, God, period. And there I created my secret place. My fort. Oh, gosh. I remember dragging all of my favorite toys up there. All the hidden things I didn't want found. That was my secret garden. And to this day, I still think about the attic hatch and my secret garden up there because to this day, Mom never knew I played up there. She didn't know I had toys in the attic. I would only chance these visits to my Narnia when she was working and the house was empty. My little secret place, and I wonder how many years it took. I wonder how long until somebody pulled down the attic hatch after we were gone and saw that a child once played there. That this wasn't a typical attic, that it had indeed been a child's playroom, my playroom. And I wonder if whoever decided to open that attic hatch had to have known of the murder that took place there, and of the 2 small children whom resided in that house at that time. I wondered if they ever found my secret place, and if they wondered about who made that playroom. If they put 2 and 2 together, that it was the playroom of the daughter of the woman that was murdered in that house in 1993. I always wondered who found my room and what they thought, and whatever became of my secret toys. And that's all I've written so far. There have been things in my life that I have forgotten that have happened last year, but for 30 years I will never forget. I've had backflashes of the house that I'd forgotten completely about until recently. But in all the years, I've never forgotten that attic. and all the things up there. And I was so sad when my dad came with the truck and unloaded. Like, he just threw stuff in there. I mean, he was upset. Like, my mom was leaving Russell to come back to him. Like, he loved my mother, and like, he just wanted to get my stuff out of that room and get out of there. And to his credit, he got everything out of that room, and he went to the shelter and he found our dog that Russell had put outside before he did this, because it was totally premeditated. And he got my dog back. I'll give my dad's an asshole, but he got my stuff and he got my dog, but he never knew about that attic until after, and then I told him, and he was like, not getting it back. There was so many secret things up there. I had a great big, like, it wasn't a bean bag, but it was a great big worm, pink worm that you could filled with those a bean bag, and you can wind him around to make him a bean bag. And a friend gave that to me, and I dragged him all the way home. I dragged him up that ladder, and got him all set up, and that's where I sat. I sat on my purple worm dragon bean bag, and I had all my stuff. I would just, if whoever found that, I would just love to see pictures, because all I have are the memories in my head, and I see so much. So it's kind of like a wish. That attic hatch, my secret hatch of that house. I wonder how long it took before somebody found that after that happened. So anyway, that's my memoir as of now. I have, 9 full pages written? What do you think? Give me some feedback. How do you think I'm going? Is it flowing okay? Do you like the title? It's entitled Green. It's entitled Green. I thought that was pretty clever. Green, because it's the color of weed and money. That's how I open it up. I'm trying to pull it all in, and I'm trying to make it not so much me, but her. Focus this is, you gotta remember, this isn't about me and my profess. No. It's about her pretty face. I'm gonna see something else. This was the dog that he put outside. That's Pupper. She would have, he knew it too. She would have protected the 3 of us, Mom, Christina, me, to the death. So in order to get away with this without having the dog into the situation, he put the dog outside. So I want to know the Sedona's Police Department's reasoning for if my mom committed suicide in a whim, murder-suicide was what apparently was going to happen. Why'd she put the dog outside? Why didn't she kill her kids too, then? Why didn't she kill the dog? If you're going to go ahead and kill yourself, kill your husband, leave your kids alone to wake up to find it, why don't you just kill them too? It's just not logical. 110% this is not logical. I know what happened. Everybody knows what happened. The point is that I got to prove it. Why couldn't the evidence is all right there too. Why didn't they? Why didn't they is actually the more proper question. Why didn't they? That's the dog. She lasts a long time too. And Dad saved her from the shelter, and she hated my dad. It took my dad years to turn around, and guess what? It's gonna become my dad's dog. I moved out of the house when I was 19. She stayed. She died when I was about 21. She lasted like fucking. She's my first dog. That was my sister. That's how young she was when she saw her mother get shot and killed. Did you imagine being that young? Seeing your father kill your mother? We both got the short end of the stick. I'm just, I feel bad for her, but I don't feel bad for her because she's had choices since then. I feel bad because she was forced to grow up with him. But since she became an adult, she made her own decisions. Just like I have. My decisions I've made to pursue this. Her decisions, she's decided to let it tear apart her life. And she's letting this. Russell didn't only just kill my mom and her mom. In all reality, he actually in turn killed his daughter too. She could have been something. I could have been something. Instead, she's spent time in prison, addicted to drugs, running from the law, prostitution. Who knows anymore what she's doing? But you want to know what? Russell did that to her too. So that night when he was so jealous, when he would let my mom leave, he ruined his life. He took my mom's life. He ruined his own child's life. He ruined my life. He's ruined everybody's life that I've touched, because this has affected my life so bad that everybody that I know gets affected by it. But anyway, I just thought I would read how far I've gotten on my mission, and later on I will get back to the case file. And the weather, it's nice for outside. I'll go back outside because it's chilly. It's really weird. Arizona's like freezing in the morning and then like hot in the afternoon. Like, I'll take this though over like shoveling snow. But our summers here, I barely came out of the house during the day this last summer, let me tell you. You know, thoughts and comments on my my progress here on my first 4 chapters. What you think? Good? Going good? Not so good? It's gonna get fucking crazy, especially when I get to the next chapter when they get me in the squad car with him. I'll tell you what I remember him telling me in the squad car. Before that, I'll also tell you what I remember what I saw when I walked through that living room. It was very quickly. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 steps from my bedroom to the front door that I got to witness. So maybe 10 to 15 seconds that my little eyes got to look over and see what was happening. It was by then that they'd had Russell on the couch interrogating him. There was several around him. So when they woke me up, there was at least 3 police officers on scene. So accounts are wrong. From what I can remember, and from what they're writing down, that's why I'm trying to write down my account too. I'm reading my account, and I'm reading their account. And we'll see how they converge to find some kind of truth. There's no way in hell. And there is absolutely no proof that my mom killed herself. None. That's why they haven't been able to close it. But apparently there's no proof that he did it either, which is bullshit. I see nothing but proof. There's nothing in here about him bagging his hands. There sure is something about him going in. He even mentioned that he went into the bathroom. You want to know why he went into the bathroom? Because his second wife told me what he was doing in the bathroom. He took a shower before he called 911. He put the gun away and then put the gun back. Why did he do that? Because he knew that his daughter had already seen what he had done and put the gun away. So he had to put the gun back. CPS came to take us away. Russell did not want us to go into CPS's custody because she would be talking. So instead he called his boss to come and pick us up because he did not want Christina talking. And I remember Christina telling me that Poppy killed Mommy. I didn't believe it for the first couple days until they told me. They had him tell me. I'll never forget that. And I didn't see her for a long time after that. They kept her away. I think it was the next year when my side of the family, my Aunt Wendy, got me and her together, get the girls together and take us to Disneyland. And when I saw her like the next year, I asked her what happened to Mom, and she said Mommy killed herself. They brainwashed her. They did not want her he did not want her to be interrogated, but she is interrogated. Within 40 minutes, they had her in I need help here, guys. I need somebody in the police, a retired somebody to look at this. This shit don't smell right.